Recently, I brought a few of the best action anime out there, and since you seem to crave more, I decided to bring another 20 to fill your watch list. Yes, these are the anime that pumps up your adrenaline, gives you the hype, and showcases some of the best fight scenes the medium has to offer. Without further ado, let's dive into the list. Number 20, Akudama Drive. Released in the fall season of 2020, this anime brought many new elements to the action anime genre. The anime revolves around a heist mission. It has a very simple concept. The strongest criminals in the city are known as Akudama, and the police force that hunts them down is known as the Executioners. The anime kicks off when 7 of these Akudama are gathered for a heist. Does the heist go well? By now, you should know things aren't that easy. The heist soon evolves into a runaway mission, a rescue operation, and then to a rebellion itself. If you need good action and a good story mixed in, with some nice action scenes and great visuals, then Akudama Drive is the show for you. Number 19, Bleach. This is one of the most popular shonen titles, so you definitely can't miss out on this one. Ichigo is just another average high schooler who spends a calm and quiet life until a hollow attacks his house. This is where he meets Rukia, a soul reaper whose responsibility is to defeat these hollows. When Rukia is injured, Ichigo takes up the mantle, and then he gets dragged into this endless spiral of adventures as a soul reaper. Bleach is an early shonen anime, so it definitely has its slow pacing and its fair share of filler episodes, but it also has a unique story as well. The show has a few of the best fight scenes in anime, and you definitely won't be bored when the tension kicks in. Number 18, Dragon Ball series. Next up, we have another popular anime. Dragon Ball is what gave birth to many old as well as new shonen anime. It's also one of the longest running anime series. This tells the story of Goku and how he gets together with a girl named Bulma in search of Dragon Balls. But that's just the premise of the story. The anime soon turns into fighting tournaments, Super Saiyans, alien invasions, and everything you could ask for in a shonen action anime. The fight scenes may be long and repetitive at times, but don't forget that if Dragon Ball didn't exist, then none of the shonen anime you watch today will be of the same quality. Dragon Ball has influenced a lot of anime, and is still one of the best action anime ever made. Number 17, Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is considered to be one of the best anime of this season, so you definitely shouldn't miss this out. Here, we meet Yuji Itadori, an unnaturally talented boy living with his grandfather. Even though he has an innate talent for sports, he joins the occult club so he can enjoy his free time. But things change as he meets a sorcerer named Megumi Fushiguro, who warns about a cursed talisman he possesses. But this talisman appears to be a bigger challenge than it seemed, and to protect his friends, Yuji swallows it. Now with the host of Sukuna released from this talisman residing within him, Yuji becomes the target of many sorcerers as everyone tries to exorcise him. If you need great action and overpowered characters, then don't miss this one out. Number 16, Baki. Here, we have the son of the strongest man in the world, so you know you're up to some great action sequences. And this son's objective is to defeat his father, so don't expect any cheerful family moments in this one. Baki is known to be the strongest fighter in the city, and simply because of that, 5 of the greatest martial artists come to his hometown to see what defeat tastes like. With 5 dangerous men hunting him, you can sure expect a good amount of tension and fight scenes in this anime. This show may survive less on story, but we all know we're gonna watch it for the action scenes. Number 15, God of High School. Now, this took the webtoons by storm due to its overpowered protagonist, and it will surely do the same for anime as well. I mean, this whole anime revolves around a tournament arc. What else could you ask for? In South Korea, students in high school can compete with each other in order to become the best fighter in the country. This is what our protagonist Shin Mori is trying to achieve. From the synopsis itself, you know you can expect a good load of fight scenes in this one. It's a popular secret that even some of the webtoon elements have been cut out to give more focus to the fight scenes, so surely you can expect a lot of hyped up battles one after another. After all, this is called Tournament Arc the Anime. Number 14, My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is like the modern version of Naruto, and it's no secret it was inspired by Naruto. In this world, people are born with powers. There are academies to train individuals with quirks, and there are heroes who defend countries. Our main character, Midoriya's ambition is to become one of the strongest heroes in the world, but sadly he doesn't have any quirk. But by chance, he meets All Might, the strongest hero in the world, and after seeing Midoriya's altruistic nature, he passes his quirk onto him. Then we follow the adventures of Midoriya as he enrolls in UA Academy and fights off threats with other heroes. It currently has 4 seasons aired, and the 5th is coming soon, so now would be a good time to catch up if you haven't watched the show. Number 13, The 7 Deadly Sins. Now this is a rather popular one, or more popular as the 7 deadly frames per second ever since Studio Dean was in charge of the project. But if you ignore the animation, you'll find an entertaining adventure. This follows the adventures of Elizabeth, a princess searching for the infamous 7 deadly sins, 7 warriors who betrayed the kingdom and escaped. As it turns out, these 7 seem to be the good guys. And not just good guys, but the overpowered good guys of the story. If you need comedy, adventure, action, and Meliodas constantly showing he's the main character, then don't miss this one. Number 12, Hellsing Ultimate. The theme of vampires has basically been played in every medium ever to exist on the planet. But what I liked about Hellsing and its later series Hellsing Ultimate was the way it managed to show raw violence along with the character of Alucard. Hellsing is an organization that is dedicated to stopping evil entities such as vampires, and the organization has a great tool in their possession called Alucard. Alucard is, if you notice, Dracula spelled backwards, and is currently the most powerful vampire up to date. And he is the character that gives the show a more adult and mature feeling. He's not only an overpowered character, but also a remorseful killer. The show also contains scenes of psychological torture and has enough bloodshed to fill all of Japan. Overall, if you want an action show with gore and mystery with a dark and mature tone, Hellsing is for you. Number 11, Yu Yu Hakusho.
浦飯祐介14歳この物語の主人公のはずだがどうやらいきなり死んでしまったらしい
Yu Yu Hakusho is one of those names that comes bundled along with action anime. It's one of the few anime that delivers a great story with great characters and action. It follows Yusuke Urameshi, a street delinquent who saves a child from a possible car accident. At the underworld, his soul is said to have no place in heaven nor hell, so a spirit named Botan allows him to go back to his human body if he passes a series of tests. He passes these tests easily, but once he returns to his human body, he's granted with the title of Underworld Detective. Now he should investigate supernatural activity along with his friends. The anime shows how Yusuke grows from a regular street delinquent to a boy who fights for the fate of the underworld, and you get some great action along his character journey. Number 10, Demon Slayer. This anime isn't popular for demon slaying, but for the cute sister called Nezuko. Okay, just kidding. We have some great action sequences along the way as well. Demon Slayer is about Tanjiro Kamado, a boy whose family is killed by demons. The only person left after the attack is Nezuko, who also turns into a half-demon. The show then follows their adventures as they train together to defeat demons. Unlike many shonen anime that constantly keep training their main character to defeat a certain threat, Demon Slayer forces Tanjiro to learn by analyzing his enemy. It also doesn't survive on the regular shonen tropes that anime has built, and always does something innovative with each arc. If you need great action sequences complemented by a great story and a cute little demon sister, then don't miss out on this one. Number 9. High School of the Dead. When it comes to ecchi shows that also has great action, the first that comes to mind is High School of the Dead. This may come as a surprise, but this was directed by the same person who directed Attack on Titan. You can see how the show has great action. High School of the Dead narrates the story of 5 students who are trapped during a zombie apocalypse. You've got the feeling of The Walking Dead mixed in with the high school setting, and it makes this look like a modern day Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. As I said, don't let the ecchi tag fool you. When it comes to action, it doesn't hesitate to jam-pack it all into tension-filled moments, then mix it with gore and violence to make things extra interesting. Number 8. Fist of the North Star. If you remember one of the oldest anime memes, then you will clearly remember Fist of the North Star. This is one of the earliest martial arts action anime. It follows the adventures of the warrior named Kenshiro. He wanders in a post-apocalyptic wasteland on a quest to track down his rival Shin and to find his kidnapped fiancée Yuria. Kenshiro is the very definition of an overpowered protagonist. He can kill people with his eyes closed and explode his opponents into millions of pieces simply by touching them. But just because he's overpowered doesn't mean the challenges are gonna be easy. Kenshiro meets some interesting rivals, and each of his fights with them is jaw-dropping. Number 7. Gangsta. Need an anime about gangsters? Or is it supernatural gangsters? Nicholas Brown and Warwick Arcangelo are 2 handymen. Handymen are the guys who handle the most brutal and dangerous jobs in the city. And things would be easier if this was a normal city. But this city is filled with supernatural criminals trying to kill each other. Gangsta has a more mature tone than many other action anime on this list. You can say it's almost similar to Black Lagoon when executing its themes. The jobs are dangerous, which means the tension is high. If you need a fast-paced action anime involving the underworld, then don't miss out on this one. Number 6. Cowboy Bebop. Let's take a trip back to one of the oldest space adventures in anime. Cowboy Bebop is about the adventures of Mello and carefree Spike Spiegel, 2 bounty hunters traversing space searching for contracts. The anime may start off simple and without any overall ambition, but soon the characters' backstories come into play, and that's when things start to get serious. You'll soon know these people hide more than what they show, and when their past chases after them, they should choose whether to fight it or flee from it. Being a 90s anime, some of the episodes come as part of a story arc, while the others are standalone episodes. Need an action space adventure with great characters, shootouts, and bits of comedy here and there? Then Cowboy Bebop is a show for you. Number 5. Fairy Tail. Now this one is a rather popular one, so you must have surely heard of it. This has a familiar role-playing game setting, so if you're a fan of fantasy, then this will definitely hook you up. It happens in a magic-filled world where adventure guilds take up quests and complete them. It starts off when Lucy Hartfilia runs into Natsu Dragneel and his partner Happy, who are on a quest to find Natsu's foster father, the dragon Igneel. But soon the scope expands, and new characters are introduced. The duo soon join the Fairy Tail Adventure Guild, and the anime follows their adventures as well as their struggles. If you need some fantasy action anime with the regular shonen battle dose, then you should definitely check this one out. Number 4. Assassination Classroom. What if national security came to your class and advised you to kill your teacher? Yes, imagine a situation where you go to school simply to kill your homeroom teacher. Makes school a lot more interesting, doesn't it? This is the job of the students of Class 3E. Their teacher is an octopus named Kuro-sensei. Despite his cheerful personality, he can move at Mach 20 speed and dodge almost anything you throw at him. Now the job of the students is to kill him, which of course isn't going to be easy, and the anime follows how the members of the classroom plan to kill him. Despite its simple premise, this evolves into something much more emotional and action-heavy anime. And keep some tissues ready to wipe off your tears as well. Number 3. Sword Art Online. Isekai action with a harem? Then the first thing to come to your mind is Sword Art Online. If you're an Isekai fan, then it would be a surprise if you haven't heard of Sword Art Online. But if you don't know, it's about Kirito being trapped inside a video game he played and finds a way to escape it. Similar to many others, Kirito is the overpowered guy who only takes a few seconds to bring down even the higher level enemies. There is a lot of action with little less plot here, but if you ignore the first 2 seasons and move into Alicization, then you are sure in for a surprise. The story becomes more refined, the animation becomes much better, and the action goes to a whole new level. Plus, you've got the world's first isekai harem, so who can complain? Number 2. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Stop!
Next up, we have an anime not produced in Japan, but still has many elements to call it an anime. Avatar is about Aang and his adventures as he becomes the Avatar. The Avatar is someone who can master all 4 elements: fire, wind, water, and air. Though it may start off as a simple power fantasy show, what's so intriguing about Avatar: The Last Airbender is its political setting and interesting characters. Each character has goals and has to face challenges to achieve these goals. And after a certain point, the show kicks things into a higher level in terms of tension and world building, and that's when you're surely gonna love this show. Number 1. Psycho-Pass. Written by the famous author Gen Urobuchi. You might recognize him as the author of Fate Zero, but Psycho-Pass is completely different to his previous works and manages to deliver the audience a view on a dystopian world filled with technology and some interesting characters with their own ideals and mysteries. In Psycho-Pass, every citizen is measured by the civil system and given a crime coefficient. If the latter is high, then that person is considered as a criminal and then immediately executed. We follow the adventures of 2 detectives known as Shinya Kogami and Akane Tsunemori as they try to unravel the mystery of an unknown figure who manages to evade the system and still manage to do crimes. It does have its share of violence, but as the show moves on, you'll find it's a more deeper study of humanity and society as a whole. If you haven't watched this, then this is a must watch. So there goes our list for 20 of the best action anime out there. Let us know in the comment section down below if we might have forgotten to mention some anime. As usual, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be updated about our videos. That's it for today, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.